It's ramp season. Here I am back to my hometown in West Virginia, and my dad had this crazy idea that I should make a ramp beer. And after thinking about it, I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. And you can see I got my little baggie of ramps here. I'm up here on the mountain picking these ramps. Now, a lot of people don't know what ramps are. I feel like it's kind of like a West Virginia thing, but ramps is kind of like a wild onion, but it's very unique in its aroma and flavor. And the people that know what ramps are go crazy over ramps. So this is going to be a fun beer to make. It's a lot of work. They thrive up in these mountain conditions. As we're walking up this mountain, we're checking for patches. They almost look like lilies coming out of the ground, but you can't go and wipe out the crop. Like, you have to be careful when we harvest these, because we want this crop to continue to grow year to year. This isn't something you farm. This is like a natural wild ramp. So we're gonna check out some of these patches that I found, and I'm gonna show you how we harvest these guys, clean them all up, and walk you through the whole process of us making this ramp beer. Here's an example of just a little single ramp hiding under here. We're gonna leave that guy alone. There's another one right here. You'll see little patches where there's only a single ramp here, a single ramp there, but this is what we want here. This is a nice big patch. You can see I got my baggies up here. I already pulled a few off. I'm only gonna pull like maybe one more clump out of this, and I'm gonna leave this alone. You don't wanna decimate these crops. So I like to use, it's kind of like a nice little pry bar. The digging tools actually bend. There's a lot of root up here, so it's a little tight. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed so I can show you on the camera here, but you wanna get a little close to it, and we dig down by the roots and just pry up a little bit. Just kind of like that, being real gentle. And it's kind of hard to do with one hand on the phone, taking the camera, but usually we gently pull while we pry, but this is what we get here. And this is the ramps. This is the wild onions. These aren't super big. This is kind of a little bit on the small side of them. We're not going to pick any more from this crop here, but we're going to take these. These will still be really good, but everybody likes this. This is the heart of the ramp. This is the best flavor. This is the best part, but you can eat the leaves and everything, just like a green onion. You could chop all this up. I'm up here on the side of this hill. You don't get any more organic than this. Up here in the untouched mountain, nobody comes up here. Look at this terrain. This is what we have to navigate through in order to make this beer. Bingo, we hit a small little ramp patch right here. This is phase one of the cleaning process. I just bring the ramps down here, lay them out, and start hosing them off. Just trying to get the bulk of the dirt off of them. I'm gonna separate them real good. You can see over here where I started separating them. And once I get all the heavy dirt off and get them cleaned up by the hose the best I can, then I'm gonna move into the sink. I'm cutting up these ramps for this ramp beer. So me and Chris are trying to decide on exactly how we want to make this beer. We're kind of winging this today. This is my dad's crazy idea. So I brought these ramps back from West Virginia, and we're just winging it. So me and Chris have to actually try these. We're going to try these whole, and we're going to try it with the leaf material. Typically, when you cook with ramps, you always cook with the leaf material as well, because it actually has a really good flavor. It's kind of like green onions, where you would typically use the whole thing. However, it is a different flavor. So me and Chris are going to sample these. We just got done cutting up all these ramps. What we decided to do was make a ramp tea. So we took a portion of these, put in here. We took some boiling water, poured on top of there to sterilize it. We're going to let that infuse. And what we're thinking is, if this does not bring enough ramp flavor into the beer, we could dose this tea in either post-fermentation or during the break tank transfer. All right, so our next move here is to decide, because we're getting ready to mash in, do we want this leaf material? Bottoms up, buddy. I don't know that I've tasted these raw like this before. It's always been cooked.
Oh, it actually has a sweetness to it.
It actually does.
So it's not bad. It's not earthy. It's not like grassy. It's actually got a really nice sweet flavor.
It does.
Really nice.
honestly, I would love to put that in there, but my fear is I love the taste and the flavor of that. It's so unique, and it's less potent than these are. What I'm afraid of, though, is the amount of moisture and water in these leaves.
I'm right there with you.
Because when we do our wet hops IPA, we've done it before where they were like fresh. I mean, talking hours within harvest, and you got that plant
matter taste.
And I'm afraid that that's what we would get. And being on a time crunch, I think, man, I wish we would have planned this out better. I think if we were to put these in a dehydrator
for a short period of time.
Because oh my God, that sweetness.
That is really nice.
That is really nice.
It's really surprising. Very surprising.
All right. Now, yeah, you get the big one. Great. Oh, you're cheating. You're only cut a little piece off. Actually, it's probably a good idea. I don't know if I want that whole one.
It has of course, onion smell. Maybe a slight garlic.
Woo! Man, those are potent. Holy crap.
Oh, that was spice to them too.
Woo! Garlic. You're right, man. That garlic kind of jumps out.
And that'll keep someone away for a while.
Malt. What do you think we should do with malt on this?
Just straight 2-row, really. Caramel wouldn't work with it.
Yeah, I don't think it would play well with it.
Yeah, I just single malt.
Just let's go straight 2-row. Maybe put a little dextrin in there, a little carrot pills.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna mill that up. Let's go ahead and mash in, and then we'll come back and talk hops. Because I do think that we're gonna have to balance this with some hops. I think hops is gonna help make this a little bit, tie it together and not make it just so powerful. Might help complement. All right, mash in time. Once we transferred over here, we were smelling, we really wasn't getting much, if any, ramp smell at all. So we decided we did want to go ahead and put a little bit more into the boil. And we're also going to do our first hop addition. We decided to go with a little bit of Cascade hops in the beginning, just for the bittering. The other hops that we figured out we really want to use is the Tettlinger, but it only has like 2 alpha acids. So we didn't think it would be good enough for bittering, so we're going to add that in at like a 15-minute addition, and I think we're going to do a flame out addition too to try and complement this, and let's see what happens. Here we are at the end. We just canned off this West Virginia Wild Ramp beer. So this was a crazy idea my dad had when I went to West Virginia and started harvesting ramps. I think Chris was skeptical about it the whole time.
Very skeptical. Yeah, some things just don't go into beer, but okay.
All right, so let's do our final taste analysis here.
All right, I just opened this can.
The color looks real good. I mean,
it is. It's a really nice, clear blonde ale style. The aroma, to me personally, the aroma is not off-putting. It is, to me, it smells like garlic toast.
Garlic toast.
It really does. I just, that's what I think when I smell it.
I mean, I can see that. So you definitely, when you smell it, you can definitely smell ramps. And if you know what ramps are, it's a garlicky onion flavor. So, but they're definitely, I think, more heavy on the garlic, and that's what I'm getting on the nose.
And my first initial taste, that's what you get. Garlic, maybe a touch of onion. Now, we have had a couple of these, and the taste dissipates after a little bit, so don't be frightened of the first initial taste. Take a few tastes of this before you really make a decision on this beer.
So the way I want to put this is, if you go into this knowing what you're about to drink, that I'm about to drink a beer that's going to taste like onion and garlic, that's what this beer delivers. When you say we're going to have a ramp beer and you drink this beer, it definitely tastes like ramps.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So the question is people going to like it? And that's what we're not sure of yet.
Well, honestly, I think if people sample it and give it a chance and drink it with your meal, I think it's very drinkable. The base beer in itself is very clean. I personally like this to warm up a little bit. I think the flavor improves when it warms up, but that's just my opinion. We'd like to have you guys come out and try it and let us know.
I think drinking this and eating the fries, you got that salty fries with this,
yeah,
was actually really pleasant. I think that this almost accentuates the flavor of the food.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When you're doing it. I don't think I drink more than a pint of this at a time. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It's definitely drinkable though. And as you drink it, like you mentioned before, I think the first sip, your like taste buds are in shock.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, whoa, what is that? And then after you take a few sips, it kind of like your taste buds acclimate to it, and it dulls the flavor down.
Right.
So I think that makes it a little bit more drinkable in that sense. Now let's go on the other side of things, since we're talking about food, and that is cooking with this beer.
Yes.
And I think this beer is going to be excellent for cooking. Our chef is right now already experimenting with making a special ramp sauce, and he's been playing with some recipes to use this beer in with the food, and so far it's been fantastic results. So when we release this beer, which is going to be probably next week or the following week, our plan is to release it along with a special food item with that.
Right.
So that'll be fun. I'm curious to see what people will think about it, how they respond to it. But if you're out there as a home brewer or something like that,
Yeah.
I think it's a fun novelty beer
It really is. Yeah.
to try and to play with. This is probably going to be, unless there's something crazy and people respond to this well, I think it's definitely going to be a one-off beer for us. But it was definitely super fun making it.
Actually, I'm kind of to the point, I love to use my smoker at home. I think this is going to be a lot of fun to try on maybe a brisket or something like that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try that at home.
Sounds good. So, all right, we're going to wrap up this video. You ready to shotgun one of these?
No.
We have a shotgun finish with Chris. Come on.